CBSE is translating the vision of the NEP 2020 of vocational and skill training in practical action?
New Education Policy 2020 is actually
That there are a lot of skill modules that CBSE is offering, particularly for middle school.
see any student or any children for that matter, whether in our ecosystems, in our schooling environment or state-run schools.
But sir, when it comes to the CBSE schools, how do we encourage them to implement these subjects in their schools? Do they need any special permissions to be doing so?
Our school teachers can have in future.
Truly bridging the gap of what we want to teach our students, the theories and what is actually going on in the world.
Actually, we have already these kind of mechanisms for the purpose of examinations.
Namaskar and warm greetings to all our viewers. In the ever so changing world, the needs of our students, the way they learn and the way we teach them is also changing. With the NEP 2020 already beautifully embracing this change, there is greater focus on holistic development, emphasizing practical learning and hands-on teaching. CBSE too has been leading the way in skill education, making it more accessible to students, bringing hands-on experiential learning to the classrooms. The goal? To empower students with future-ready skills. I'm sure you're wondering, what are these initiatives? Is something new coming up? What is brewing in CBSE when we talk about skill education? And so, we are proud and privileged to have with us here today Dr. Biswajit Saha, Sir, Director Skill Education, CBSE. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. It's truly a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you very much.
So, sir, to begin with, how is CBSE is translating the vision of the NEP 2020 of vocational and skill training in practical action?
New Education Policy 2020 is actually game changer in vocational education and skill building especially. At this point of time, if you look into the existing model of offering vocational courses, it is largely optional. NEP talks about the compulsory vocational subject to be offered, that too also from grade 6 onwards. Now we at CBSE definitely going to implement, or rather already we are step ahead in that mission. We are offering skill module at grade 6 to 8 and skill subjects from grade 9 to 12. Now these module optional offering will become compulsory from the coming academic sessions. And moreover, from grade 6, I think we have already issued notifications for the schools to offer right from these academic session. So this is one aspect through which we are going to sensitize the school to offer vocational subjects as a compulsory component, or rather an integral part of school ecosystems.
Wonderful, sir. But sir, how does making it compulsory impact the overall learning experience of students?
In case of this compulsory offering, definitely then it becomes the part of the ecosystems. Now, overall impact, if we give the option to the candidate, then a certain segment, or even if you look our 29 to 30,000 schools, if we give them a choice, then some may offer, some may not offer. But if we look into the overall growth of industry, overall growth of market and global requirement, then, and especially if we look into the developed nation, everywhere the skill ecosystems and so-called vocational education has an inherent component of the education. And that's why we feel that through the compulsory offering, I think over a period of time, the society and especially all students in our ecosystems are going to have the adequate life skill so that they can withstand, survive, and also if they want to have some specialized job role they are supposed to acquire or perform post schooling, आज का तारीख में वो चीज़ अवेलेबल नहीं है. And selective few who are staying in the urban pockets where maybe good academic or professional institutes or some private setups are there, they can definitely opt.
Right.
But here we are talking about the entire systems. It is not a selective few. That means all our affiliated schools are supposed to offer vocational subjects compulsorily. Then you imagine that means every child entering the school from grade 6 onwards are going to do some kind of projects with their hand, and ultimately they are ready for the market. I am not talking about the employable or employability skill. I am talking about they are learning some skill and gradually they bring interest on them, how passionately they can, whether they, if they feel that they can pursue the career on that, they can choose. आज का तारीख में वो स्कोप नहीं है.
Right.
But NEP and NCFSC has made that scope for the entire nation.
So we're really giving them the strong foundation they need, sir.
Yes, and that will actually bring overall impact. आज का तारीख में हम बोलेंगे तो ठीक है, कुछ जगह पे होगा, कुछ जगह पे नहीं होगा. But when we are talking about the compulsory offering, that means gradually over a period of 3 years and 5 years, then we can see what kind of changes are visible in the children, whether their behavior, psychology, and their aptitudes towards other academic subjects also. So that we will subsequently study and measure what way it has really impacted this kind of recommendation.
Right, sir. So, sir, when we talk about these skill subjects, we understand that there are a lot of skill modules that CBSE is offering, particularly for middle school.
Yeah.
So, whether it's from emerging IT topics such as AI and coding to practical hands-on skills that we are teaching them, whether it's photography or baking or even pottery, sir, how is exposing students to these skills at such a young age helping them?
See, any student or any children for that matter, whether in our ecosystems, in our schooling environment or state-run schools, these days due to lot of exposure and lot of digital amenity available at house, first of all, that mobile to any other devices, I think they are more informed. And giving them exposure in the early years, I think the journey of their education landscape would be more interesting. Otherwise, restricted approach always resist them whatever they want to do. And moreover, if these things can be connected with their studies, I think the joyful experience they are going to avail over a period of time.
Right, sir.
And that is more important. And that's why whether it is coding or data science or any emerging tech like AI, to even hands-on skill like blue pottery we are offering, khadi we are offering, in the financial accounting to tourism, so 33 modules we are offering. And now National Curriculum Framework for School Education advocates that 3 form of project should be encouraged in the school. So every child at grade 6, 7, 8, they are supposed to carry out 3 projects in different form, life form, machine, and the way it actually, I think they are one way the visual capacity, their hands-on skill, and their creative landscape. I think a overall grounding would be there, and through that, I strongly believe student of these generations, I think is going to learn a lot of things, and we are at present offering only 15 hours module. Now these 15 hours module we are going to convert into full subjects. So every student at grade 6 onwards are going to have three form of works, and they are going to carry out some projects And whenever any hands-on skill or projects, I am repeating these words for all of us for the purpose of interest, then I think they can correlate these kind of projects with their other subjects. I think that way it would create a positive environment in the school, and overall growth also, I think it would be highly impacted.
Definitely, sir, because it seems to be making learning so much more holistic, and they're getting so much exposure. We're almost bringing, the real world experiences to their classrooms. But, sir, when it comes to the CBSE schools, how do we encourage them to implement these subjects in their schools? Do they need any special permissions to be doing so?
Not exactly. They can inform, and moreover, we have OACs in place. So wherever every year they get opportunity to update their OACs. So through OACs portal, they are going to inform the board that okay, we are offering these subjects, this module. And moreover, we have, especially for the skill module, the existing practice is very interesting. We have integrated Sharks portal. So through that portal, school will register through their existing login ID,
Right.
and they can register their entire class or a group of student, and no prior permission is required any time and any moment. And it is not that in a particular year a specific timeline is given in this month you are supposed to do. No, it is not like that. Any time during the academic session, school are free to register their student and complete batch wise.
Right.
And complete that batch, and the same batch, in case of the modular patterns offering, if students wants to pursue more than one module in a academic session, that is also permissible.
Okay.
But one has to complete one module, and then they can register for the other module. So that features, unlike any other open platform, that facility is very much in place with the CBSE portal.
That's wonderful, sir, and it's more or less very seamless for schools to adopt these
Yeah,
subjects.
many schools
there.
are offering. Many schools are offering.
Sir, the NEP 2020 also talks about having labs and skill labs in schools. So there was also a mention once about composite skill labs.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit more about that, sir?
Yeah, so as we are aiming, all our schools should offer at least 3 projects from grade 6 onwards. So through this platform, I would like to request all our affiliated schools to have composite skill lab in place. So unlike composite science lab in school, we are actually envisaging all our affiliated schools to have one composite skill lab, and each composite skill lab must accommodate at least 2 to 3 skill area. So at present, many schools may be offering only one skills, whether it is IT, tourism, or it could be business administrations or financial market management, or even fashion studies. Now we are requesting schools, especially for grade 6 to 10, as NEP advocates the compulsory skilling for this particular stage, both the middle level as well as for the secondary grade 9 and 10.
Right, sir.
I think for that entire cohort, that is for grade 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, we need to have a fixed infrastructure. And that fixed infrastructure is nothing but composite skill lab. और उस composite skill lab में it is preferred 2 से 3 skill area को focus करना, और वो 2-3 area ऐसा होना है so that which can cater the requirement of the projects of life form, projects of materials, and to cover the curriculum load in the composite skill lab, the practical component. Because skill subjects we want to promote where the maximum hands-on skills can be promoted, and without composite skill lab, I think it is difficult. For certain area in machine form, maybe our IT labs and other labs are definitely helping. School कर भी रहा है, ऐसा भी नहीं है. But composite skill lab में other area बिकॉज ऑल आवर एफिलिएटेड स्कूल्स हैव ए गुड कंप्यूटर फैसिलिटी, और उसको और एक्सटेंड कैसे किया जा सकता है, स्कूल कैन लुक इनटू इट सो दैट न्यू इमर्जिंग एरिया लाइक आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस एंड इफ AR/VR एप्लीकेशंस अगर स्कूल्स को चलाना है तो आई थिंक दे नीड हाई एंड कंप्यूटर. तो एटलीस्ट पूरा लैब, वी डोंट वांट दैट इट शुड बी फुल ऑफ ऑल हाई एंड कंप्यूटर. कोई कर पाएगा तो बहुत अच्छा है, लेकिन एटलीस्ट मिनिमम नंबर दे मस्ट हैव सो दैट इमर्जिंग एरिया को भी कवर किया जा सकता है. एट द सेम टाइम आवर focused area like tourism, focused area like financial market management and other area can be covered through the composite lab. मैं limited example use किया है, but ज़रूरी नहीं वही कराना है. इसमें भी composite skill lab में I would like to urge the schools, the local specific job role को भी promote किया जा सकता है. लोकल डिमांड का हिसाब से एज वेल एज रिसोर्स अवेलेबिलिटी का हिसाब से भी दे कैन प्लान कंपोजिट स्किल लैब. सो पैन इंडिया सिनेरियो में कंपोजिट स्किल लैब मस्ट हैव द फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लोकल फ्लेवर, देन नेशनल फ्लेवर, एंड ऑल्सो इट शुड हैव ए कैपेबिलिटी टू फुलफिल द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ ग्लोबल लीड्स. So that way they may design. It is a flexible design, certain guidelines with equipment list, probable equipment list or toolkits we are going to publicize through our CBSE website. So I will urge once again, they can look into our academic as well as CBSE main website. वहाँ पे composite skill lab का details guidelines will be available. एंड अकॉर्डिंगली नया स्कूल जो हमारा पास एफिलिएशंस के लिए आ रहे हैं, दे मस्ट लुक इनटू दिस पैक्स एंड क्रिएट स्लैब बिफोर अप्लाइंग फॉर द एफिलिएशन. जो हमारा एग्जिस्टिंग एफिलिएटेड स्कूल्स है, कंपोजिट स्किल लैब विद इन ए सर्टेन टाइम पीरियड्स ऑफ 1 or 2 academic session, they must have it. Otherwise, it would be difficult for them to offer compulsory skill subjects from 2026.
Wonderful, sir. So these labs are truly strengthening the experiential and hand-on approach that we are adopting here.
Yes.
Sir, when we talk about teaching these subjects, we understand that teachers are the backbone of taking this information forward to our students. So, sir, is CBSE also doing something for the teachers to help them effectively pass on this knowledge to their students?
Lot of training capability developments programs we are organizing. So we call it capacity building program. To teachers training, of course, through our training department, through Center of Excellence, the lot of trainings are happening. Besides this, from the skill education department also, we are organizing specific course-specific training. So for artificial intelligence, I think pan-India, not only we are touching student also. So pan-India and even for our foreign schools, we are organizing good number of online as well as physical training. Similarly for other areas like hospitality, tourism, beauty and wellness, fashion studies, financial market management, our courses on automotive. So for all such areas, every year, good number of teachers training in different part of the country we are organizing. And here interesting things which I would like to share with you. Here experts are not only our school faculty member. Here experts largely we are inviting from the multinational company and also from the higher educational institute, and they are our actually coach or trainer, you can say. And many a times such trainings are also we are trying, of course number may be less, in industry campuses also. In certain training we are organizing in their campuses, in their research lab also.
Right, sir.
So that they really look into what kind of real-time work is happening and how industry are actually aiming and how industry school association can be built up gradually. And at the same time, Here I would like to highlight that CBSE has started another campaigning to bridge the gap between the school education and higher education, especially to promote skilling in school. All centrally funded lead institutes like IIT, Triple IIT, IIM, Central University, and premier privately funded universities, and many industries like Intel, IBM, and other industry also we are inviting. And in their campuses also we are sending the school leader,
Wow.
so that they can relate. Our school leader can look into what kind of administrative experience our higher educational institutes are they can acquire. At the same time, how they are managing the larger cohort of student. Also, they can experience our school education, if you product per se, if we look into in the industrial scenario, how our human resources are functioning and is there any gap. So it's a like a 2 days experience what our school leaders are getting, and also they can plan how these facility extensions can be there. And that facility means higher education institute usually having very good infrastructure. And these days, even I'd like to highlight Atal Incubation Center is a project from the Niti Aayog,
Right, sir.
and even AICT funded Idea Labs. Now, how the facility in Idea Lab can be extended to the school. So, we have written to AICT, we have written to Niti Aayog, and entered the list of all Atal Incubation Center in India, which are largely housed in the higher educational institutes.
Wow.
And Idea Labs are also housed in the higher education institutes, especially engineering college or in Central University. So these labs are accessible now to the student of school. These labs are accessible to the teachers of our school, and especially who are technically qualified or even not qualified. So through these mechanisms, there is a knowledge exchange program and teachers capacity building programs we are aiming. We have a signed agreement with NILIT. We have an agreement with our Institute of Chartered Accountant of India. So all these such institutes are also in between helping our teachers to grow and also to have the current knowledge on the field,
Right,
so that
sir.
they are being updated and also share their expertise with the students gradually.
Definitely.
So that kind of mechanisms is very much in place. But definitely, we aim to have more collaborations with other premier institutes, so that all state-of-arts teaching pedagogies and on the specific areas our school teacher can have in future.
So this is actually so great because these collaborations are truly bridging the gap of what we want to teach our students, the theories and what is actually going on in the world.
Yeah.
And the moment you empower a leader, the moment you empower a student, naturally, sir, it flows down to the children and from the teachers to the students
Yes,
itself.
yes.
That's great, sir. Sir, there has also been a mention of district skill coordinators.
Yeah.
How are they going to play a role, sir? Because we heard they're going to be appointed across the country.
Across the country.
How will they be supporting
Including our
schools
foreign
and
schools.
teachers?
Including our foreign schools. Actually, we have already these kind of mechanisms for the purpose of examinations. We have a city coordinator
Right,
and,
sir.
other portfolio. Similarly, for our teachers training, we have a district training coordinator, deputy district training coordinator, with the same philosophy, especially many a times when we meet the principal in conference or in other meeting, they largely raise this issue. Some of the our so-called different policy matters are reached to some category of schools, or sometimes all our communications are not truly reaching to the last mile. So that kind of issues are being raised by some of the principal. Even in our recent skill education committee meeting also, some member has raised that in this part of the country, many schools are actually not aware of this composite lab development or many exposure and training. So that means their request is that every districts, every subdivision, the school or even in the villages, they must be informed. And fundamentally, it is request from them, or at the same time, we also feel it is our responsibility to reach to the last mile. कोई छूटे ना. Otherwise, policy directives किसी जगह पे माने सप्रेस हो जाएगा या सीमित रहेगा. तो उस चीज को हम मतलब बड़ा दृष्टिकोण से अगर सोचेंगे, अगर वहाँ का लोकल बंदा ही हमारा पार्टनर हो जाए, आई थिंक ऑल आवर कम्युनिकेशंस डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पे अगर एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट स्किल कोऑर्डिनेटर, लाइकली इट कुड बी स्कूल प्रिंसिपल, वाइस प्रिंसिपल, हेडमास्टर्स और इवन एनी पीजीटी और टीजीटी, वो स्कूल का ऊपर है. हमारा we have a administrative systems in place, like we have a regional office, we have a center of excellence, and with their support they are identifying, they are nominating, okay, these peoples can be trusted for this kind of responsibility. And it is a on wheel basis. It is not that some special package are being there or some certain remuneration should be there. It is a honorary activity. CBSE का साथ जुड़ने का एक अपील है, और it is a time bound manner में. जरूरी नहीं है किसी को हम वो responsibility दे दिया है तो it is forever.
Right.
No, it is for time bound. 2 साल के लिए responsibility दिया जाएगा, so that all our decision, all government of India directives यहाँ से यहाँ तक सीमित ना रहे.
बिल्कुल सर.
पूरा देश में all our affiliated schools हर कोने तक पहुँचे, और उसके लिए I think they would be as a can function as a great ambassador of CBSE,
right,
and
sir.
they can partner with CBSE for larger goal. अभी जैसे हम बोल रहे ग्रेड 6 से हर स्कूल्स को अगले साल से 6-7 में हमको कंपलसरी वोकेशनल कराना है. तो अभी डाउट नहीं है, ये मैसेजिंग काफ़ी पिछले 6 महीना 8 महीना से हम इवन थ्रू ई संदेश, थ्रू डिफरेंट व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप, थ्रू सम सेंसिटाइजेशन प्रोग्राम हम पहुंचा है. बट फिर भी 6 मंथ जस्ट लास्ट वीक ऑफ लास्ट मंथ किसी प्रिंसिपल गुजरात से आके हमको बोला है हमारा इस क्लस्टर में बहुत सारी इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है. तो दैट मीन्स we have failed to reach. So this approach of district skill coordinator or deputy district skill coordinator, I think it is going to help us for effective communications, for effective reach to the community.
Right, sir. So CBSE is truly taking complete onus of ensuring skill education in all schools across the country.
Yes.
Definitely great, sir.